Welcome to Mind Your Matter. I'm Jody.
I'm Shannon, and let's get into the conversation.
Yeah, please tell me what you mean when you say that you're going to integrate some crap into your life. Because all I am imagining when you say that is taking a big pile of shit and mixing it into a batch of cookie dough and baking it up. Like, is that what you mean? Integration? That's what you're talking about for integration? You can keep your integration. I don't want your integration. I don't know what that means. It's just another one of those buzzwords. But like you said, with that concept of congested human thought, it is just recycled nonsense. That's what the thought, any kind of prevailing thought, is just recycled nonsense. And that word integration, that's one of those words for me.
Oh, I've been anti-integration. I don't even know
No, you have.
so long because for like this is like 2016, 2017. I was in the personal development world deep into it. And it was all about integrating your shadow, integrate your shadow, integrate your shadow. And I'm like, I don't, your understanding of shadow or whatever is like this negative, dark aspect of myself. And I need to integrate it so that I bring myself into wholeness somehow through that or whatever. I don't know what your concept is, but I can tell you right now that whatever people were saying that integration was so missing the mark on what it looks like to become whole, so missing the mark, because then shadow work became everything. And everybody was into shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. And it's like, you want to find in the ways that people were describing it to me. See, here's the thing. I've heard shadow work described as something else. So I've heard it described as two things, but it was like in the ways that you are pursuing and seeking out these dark aspects of the self that are hidden and tucked away and hiding in the shadow, that you don't want to bring to the light because they need to be transmuted and they need what? Oh my God, the lingo, right? Okay. So there's that. And then I've heard it described as this version of you that is the true version of you. And it's in the shadow because the false version is covering up the true version. So I've heard it described two different ways. The bottom line is it doesn't matter. It's all nonsense. It's all nonsense because, and I don't care. You guys, you want to turn this off, you want to go listen to something else, by all means, please go do that. Because literally, I'm at the point where it's like, I do not think that means what you think it means. And you keep saying it over and over and over again, or you keep pursuing it and you're not better. Mm-hmm. You're still digging around in the dirt. You're still in this world and realm of the flesh and of all of the circumstance and all of the nonsense. And it's not moving you forward any more than to the extent that you know all your deepest, darkest demons better now than you did before.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't know how people see that and think this is my path to liberation. This is my path to freedom. This is my path to healing. It's an endless loop. It is a loop that was implemented with intention to keep you looping.
Yeah. Just like, all of the ego death. Oh, we got to kill the ego. We have to get rid of the ego. Every problem you ever have is because of the ego. Like that's another loop. Like, and all of that stuff, it's just nonsense. It's all nonsense.
Well, I have yet to find anything. Here's the reality. I have yet to find anything that is linked to some form of doing that says, if you do this, you will end up in a free place in your life. If you do this ritual over and over and over again, you will be free. If you do this practice over and over and over again, you will find yourself into this. I'm not saying that there isn't a need to be consistent, right? In whatever it is we find ourselves in. You and I were talking about that as well. But I'm talking about this linking effort with reward. this
Yeah.
linking effort with reward. Anything like that, where it's like, well, if you'll just do the work, then you're going to find yourself released. It's like, no, it's not about doing the work. It's about remembering who you are.
About letting go, actually.
Yes.
Like if you're gonna add a practice, well, let that practice be letting go before anybody goes to start Googling the practice of letting go or whatever. It's not like that. That's not what we're talking about, really. And I think Jody just said it best. It's really about remembering who you are. We talked about that last week, right? Like that's mind your business. That's getting back to that place of you that is eternal. That's the place.
Yeah, we're speaking specifically on the idea of congested human thinking and how it becomes such a disruptive space for us to operate and move through in the world around us. But I mean, Shannon, you said it best. There is nothing that isn't congested human thought down here in this 3D realm.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're just moving through the muck and the mire of all of our own. They're not our ideas, but they're ideas that we have adopted and regurgitate over and over and over again. Um, and it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. So I was talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about, well, logically, they said, that's another word that's becoming like integration for me, I think. Logically, um, because that's another nonsense word. Like you say logically, and now all I hear is limitation. According to the limitations that have been widely accepted by the masses, logically, same, same. To me, that's all I hear now. Like logic is another congested human thought. And it's probably the sneakiest one that gets the most of us, right? Because logic is something that we consider a plus,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, I'm a very logical person. Oh, good for you. What you just told me is you're a very limited person, right? And I know because I would have said that for years. Oh, I'm so logical, so analytical. I'm so nonsense. It's nonsense. And it is literally a word for limitation. Just every time you start to think like logically, well, limitationally,
Yes.
and go from there.
This is so good because you and I participated together in a prosperity group a year or two ago. And one of the things that came up that is such a block to people in their process of adopting and really like becoming this prosperous version of themselves is criticism or being critical, right? Critical was the word used. And it was like one of those moments for me that I'm like, like we want to just limit this to the ways I speak poorly about myself or my life or that I complain. But let's just get into a little bit of how most people boast about their critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
So, being a critical thinker is a block in your
Yeah.
life, you know? And I mean, your personality can't hear this one way or another. So, I'm just going to speak about it anyway, because your personality is just having a fit right now. But critical thinking is not the freaking flex that you think it is. It's very much a hindrance to you in your life because your critical thinking is based on your need to survive.
Mhm.
That's it.
And your past experiences of of how that has happened, essentially. Like,
So logic and critical thinking are not the flex that you think they are. Like you said, Shannon, they're such limitators and diminishers of potential.
it.
Period. Because your logic is going to be based on the past, your critical thinking is going to be based on the past, and it's like based on what I've experienced before, this is how I see this playing out. Right? I was watching the other day somebody talk about pattern recognition, and like, I mean, listen, I can recognize patterns left, right, and center all day long. And I think that people have watched me do that in life and have conversation in that way because I can recognize the pattern. Like, oh my God, oh, this is what's happening. So this is what will happen. If you keep in this pattern, this is what's going to happen without a doubt. Like, I would bet money on it, you know? And people are like, oh my God, how do you know that? And I'm just thinking, what? How do you not know that? Like, how can you not see it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that skill is a trauma gift, right? From a system that is like so hyper vigilant and so on alert all the time, scanning, 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 that you become adept at recognizing patterns for safety.
Yeah.
It's not a psychic ability. It is literally just a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And it's so many things like this where I feel like our little ego gets all puffed up and, very proud of itself for its critical thinking and its logic and its pattern recognition. And it's just like, bro, it's literally in your way.
Yes, that because I think that you and I, like we joke about, this is a trauma gift, this is a trauma gift. And like at a certain point, it's not even a gift, right? At a certain point, it starts holding me back. Like Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it the analytical mind, right? And like my analytical mind is in my way in every way possible at a certain point because of that gift. Right? Oh, when people are like, oh, I can see things from every single angle. How's that working for you? I also can. And let me tell you, that's not a gift.
No,
It's not a gift. It
what is
creates limitation. I can tell you 97 ways that this is not going to work out based off of what I know, based off of my experience, based off, past, whatever. And no thanks, you can keep that. You can keep that gift. You can have that right back.
right? Yeah, it's like there's all of this information, really is what it is, just information that gets thrust upon us in under the disguise of this is what you need to get to the other place that you really want to be. This is what you need. This is going to get you through. Years ago, I had someone call me and they were talking to me on the phone and they were just like, of course, this is someone that I have known from like my church days and all this stuff. And they were just like, I just don't know how I feel about all these things that we were raised to believe and, the scripture and the way that it's been used and da 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 da. And they were like, the Bible says that where the spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom and that the truth will set us free. And I'm like, right, right. The truth will set you free. So if you're not free, it's not true, is what I said to her on the phone because I was just like, you're telling me how you're more limited now. And I think about this often when I even open up any social media platform that has somebody speaking about the next thing you need to do to protect yourself from EMF, protect yourself from financial ruin, protect yourself from this issue, that issue, whatever it is. It's like the next thing for you to be afraid of. And I'm like, so tell me how this is setting us free. Tell me how this is making you freer. If anything, it's making you more afraid, more cautious, more vigilant, more on edge. And it's like, I went through this already. I've already gone through all this. I did it for many years of my life in church. And then I got out of that and then came to the internet. And the internet just filled the freaking place of whoever was speaking to me on Sundays. It's like, these are the things you actually need to be afraid of. The devil? No, 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 no. That's not real. But your body could totally give out on you at any moment. Like, the sun could kill you. You could breathe in air that is so toxic in your house that you can't survive. Mold will take you out. Like this mineral drink, you're drinking this water that's mineralized from such and such place. Oh, did you know that it has blah, blah, blah? Like everywhere you turn. I said this to you at one point. This is a couple of years ago. I said, just be careful. Like breathing could kill you. Drinking water could kill you. It's just like, what
Hey, your shampoo and condition. Like I learned a new phrase like 5 years ago or 6 years ago, called body burden. Body burden. I swear.
what?
It literally means because of all the junk, the chemicals, all the stuff that's put in our, shampoos and conditioner and soap and this and that and lotion and, deodorant and all the things that it places a burden on the body that it's like which one of them is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back sort of thing, this body burden. And I'm just like, it's fear porn. That's all
Yes.
it is. It's fear porn to sell something. I'm not even going to talk about what the person was selling for this particular thing, but it's just, it's almost always, guys, look around. It's to sell something, right?
Every single
That
time.
is certainly not making you free.
No, no. I just, it's one of those things that when I look at this and I see it and experience it, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Because here's something that I want to add to what you just said, because you and I have talked about this too. If you choose to live convinced that the world around you is all that there is, and one day you're going to die and you're going to go live in heaven in the sweet by and by or whatever, if that's how you choose to live, then yeah, you should be concerned about the toxic load on your body, and you should be concerned about the air you breathe. You should be concerned about the Wi-Fi in your house, and you should be concerned about the nature of our financial system and our government. And you should be concerned. You should be concerned because you have convinced yourself that you are particle, not wave, that you are more matter than you are energy, and your matter is hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Definitely watch what you eat, watch what you drink, get your 8 hours of sleep in every night, because you have a limited amount of time and energy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for sure. However, on the other side of things, where Shannon and I are operating and inviting you to join us, is minding your matter in the field and in the realm of consciousness, in the place of awareness, in the space where energy trumps effort every single time. It's like when you get there, guess what? You can be around all these non-native EMFs and you're going to be just fine. You can eat whatever you want and you're going to be just fine. Yeah, you're not going to be um so easily susceptible to the things that have got people operating from terror
Yeah.
out here in the world. It's the fear that's really the virus, which we've said so many times, but it's that fear that is really the thing you should be the most concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the real, like, that's the real congested human thought. It's at the root of absolutely everything is fear, fear,
Mhm.
fear, fear. And honestly, once you can start overcoming fear for real, not in that fake way that people want to talk about, but in that real kind of way where you can let go, man, everything's on the other side of that, right? Like that's the exciting part to me is when you
Well,
start letting go of that.
absolutely. Because if you are living and existing in a state of fear most of the time, then that's everything you need to know about what you have decided is true. And so, what you've said for you is true is that the world around you is absolutely real, and that whatever you see is the truth of your reality.
Yeah. And
And
it's scary. And also it's scary.
it's unpredictable,
Yes.
it's scary. It could just change up on you at any time and you wouldn't be ready for it. Like, yeah, I mean, oh my gosh, we've lived in since 2020. 2020 came in with a vengeance and just absolutely altered everyone's idea of what could be in life, honestly. And I know even the things that I was like, that isn't real, that isn't true, and I know that it isn't true, there were still other ways in my life where I fell victim to my own fear.
Yeah.
Not what was going on out here, my own fear, my own interpretation. So I'm not sitting here acting like I'm unscathed. This has never happened to me. I just understand that there is a way out of it. And the way out of it is you have to remove your attention from the world of effects. Period.
That's it.
So, yes, dissociate. Yes. Yes. Dissociate from this world of your five senses,
Yeah.
not by using drugs, not by using some alcohol or something to numb you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about coming and returning back to the place within you that is the truth of your reality, right? This isn't real. Absolutely not real. This is all the past. Everything you see around you is the past. So dissociate from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Become a little delusional. You and I had that conversation, like that really, because I've had people say that to me. Well, you think you can change the past, you think whatever, that's delusional. Okay, there are worse things.
Well, science has already proven that it's possible. So I guess we're all a little delusional,
Well,
you know?
I think that buying into this 3D realm, like it's the be all end all, is delusional. That's the part to me that's absolutely delusional.
Yep. 100%.
So
100%. It hasn't, in my opinion, the people who've bought into this reality are not happier.
no,
They are not freer. They are not healthier. They are not closer in their connection to God. Not a single one of them. They are further away than they ever were, and they need a mediator more now than they ever did.
yeah,
So if that's what you want, it's your experience. Do whatever you want. But if you would like to have an experience that includes joy and fulfillment and wholeness in your body and the confidence that you are one with God and there is nothing for you to do to get back to that except for to accept it. What does it mean? Like, I always ask this question. I know we're going to veer here for just a minute, but what does it actually mean to accept Christ? People would do this thing like, have you accepted Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior at church? What?
accepted Jesus into your heart.
Yeah, what? Is he walking in his robe and sandals? Like, what are you talking about? No, 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 it's just up here. Oh, so this is a delusion that you're having. Let's just call it. No, it's faith. Same, same. Same, same. So when you do that, and then you keep walking around in your life sick and unfulfilled and dissatisfied, and you have moments of happiness that then lead back down to your deep slumps of depression, rejection, resentment, anger. What changed?
Right.
What really changed? You mean this man, Jesus, that you profess, came so that you could have life more abundantly, and you're still living your crappy life talking about that you've accepted him?
Right.
Well, that's just how it is down here in the yeah, that's for you. That's for you. That's not for me. That's not
Yeah.
for me. And I don't have
That wasn't it. Right? Like if you're going by what Jesus said, he said, I came that you might have life more abundant,
Mhm.
not less abundant, not more depressed, not, I know so
Highs and lows.
right, I know so many people who live to glorify suffering.
Yep.
What do you
Yep.
mean? Like, what? Why?
Right.
Why? That's a
Again,
story. That's a story. It's associated with a story every time. Check your story.
yep. It's your interpretation too of your experience, which is how the story comes about.
That's
You've
how you
interpreted
yeah,
this thing, you've interpreted the Bible, you've interpreted what it means to be a Christian, you've interpreted what it means to be well, you've interpreted what it means to be holy, what it means. I mean, all of it is interpretation.
yeah,
And like I said, if your interpretation is making you fearful and making you watch yourself and how do you interact and what do you do and how are you going to be like, that isn't freedom.
right.
So what are we talking about here? It's like it's more human stuff, more of all the human garbledy-gook that they talk about, where it's like you're just in the muck of humanity, of being human. And this
Yeah.
isn't to dog being human. It's like you came to have a human experience. Absolutely. You certainly did. Which experience would you like?
Right.
What kind of
Right.
experience would you like? Would you like the one that's suffering? Here's the thing. As parents, if anybody has children, or you have been a child yourself, which all of you have, would you have rather your parents put you in a learning environment that was creative, expressive, where you were given time to learn the concepts and to practice them, and the person who was teaching you was so pleasant and understanding of who you are as a person that they helped shape you and they helped you come into learning more about yourself in such joy? Would you have rather had that experience as a child? I dare say that every single person listening to this says, yes, oh my God, that would have been amazing. So then tell me why, as a human, you want to glorify suffering for to
Right.
learn. Stop it.
Right.
You wouldn't even choose that for yourself as a child learning in a school environment, but you're here as a human saying, this is a school and I'm learning lessons and let me learn the hard way and let me learn through suffering. And then let me glorify that and talk about what I've come through. Like,
Right.
stop. Those two, you don't make sense.
Right.
You wouldn't put your own children in an environment where they were subjected to harsh conditions.
Right.
They were constantly subjected to pain, ridicule, all these things. Intentionally, you would put them in that and be like, that's just part of the process. No, if that's how you feel, you should have your brain checked. I mean, honestly, because I just don't think that's real. I don't think it's real to do that and try to glorify being a human through our suffering. Mm-mm.
I think it just says a lot to me about what people think their identity is or needs to be. I think the majority of people I hear that from are Christian people, outright, anyways, glorifying suffering. Um, and they're like, well, Christ suffered, so I suffer. Like this is what we do. This is how it is. And I'm just like, I just think that's such a backward way of looking at everything. Like that's congested human thought right there. Thinking that you
Yes.
have to suffer is just congested human thought.
Well,
Period.
and I'm also like, Christ suffered. Oh, you mean the story that you read of a man being nailed to a cross that you took literally, that you said this literally happened? I mean, yes, in our human experience, based on the history of just being human, we know of many, many accounts throughout history of humans being treated so terribly
Mhm.
and terrible things happening to them. I'm not here to deny that people have died and suffered. I'm not here to deny that. I'm just saying, what are you talking about? Christ? Christ is untouchable.
Right.
Christ didn't suffer anything. You're talking about a personality.
Right. A body. We were talking about a body.
You're not talking about the truth of Christ.
Right.
Christ is beyond time and space. Christ is consciousness. It's not physical form.
Right.
And this is the problem. This is the problem. Here lies the problem because we want to substantiate all of these things that we say are the truth by bringing them into form and saying, now that they're in form, they're real.
Right.
False.
Right.
False.
Right.
It's something.
Yeah, it just makes me think about all the ways that I don't know, or all the way for me, like all the ways I'll get in my own head with stuff. And I just feel like all of these kind of stories that we tell, and then we perpetuate them, in groups with each other. So if it's like church, then we have church stories that we perpetuate. Or if it's Instagram and you have the nervous system people or the fascia people or the somatic people or the this people or the that people. And we're all everyone, you know what I mean? Like everyone is just here to perpetuate a story or they're not here to, but they are out there just perpetuating stories. And then this is the stuff that people are calling thought. This is all the stuff. It's just that recycled story of separation, this recycled story that we are all kind of subject to just by virtue of having a personality and being on this planet that says like, oh, I have to do something different. I have to be something different. I have to try something new. It must be this modality. It must be that thing. It must be whatever. And calling that an original thought. Oh, I had a thought. I had a thought that I should. Girl, did you have a thought? Did you watch an Instagram reel? Be for real right now. Be for real. Like, did you have a thought or did you hear something on TikTok? Did you have a thought or was so and so talking about this thing and it made you, because this is the thing, right? Like, if I tell people all the time, if the thought that comes up for you the moment that you hear something like that is, I should try that. Maybe this will be the thing that fixes me.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Whatever it is that just made you have that thought, it's a no automatically. It's an automatic nope, nope, that's not it. That's not the answer. That's congested human thought right there.
I think that I was considering this today, in just in terms of people and myself. And I was thinking about, we talk about this a lot in the Path of Remembrance about resistance and what it looks like, what it is. What is resistance? Like at its most basic level, like what is it? How do we know we're in it? That kind of thing. We talk about that. And I just thought about how resistance and suppression and all of these things spin us out into these places of seeking, searching, finding what's the thing that's going to lead me to who I really am or what's really here for me. And again, I think so much of this is lost in the fact that we're here to have an experience. We are here to have an experience. We're choosing the kind of experience that we are having now, and then constantly choosing the next thing and the next thing and the next thing of experience, which is why the conversation around congested human thought is valid. Because if that thought is what's causing us, triggering our choice, then we're not actually choosing from a true place. We're just choosing because of condition. We're reacting.
Yeah.
And we think we're choosing, and we're just reacting, and we're not really like in our choice. We're just reacting and going, oh well, I want this now, or I want that. And it's like, yeah, but that's all coming from a reaction. That's not like a true place. And I was just thinking about like how we get so shut down in ourselves. And when we start talking about congested human thought, what comes up for me is how suffocating it is, and how it snuffs out, literally, that truth of who we are. And so then we go, and in the congested human thought, we attempt to recreate ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so we're just like, Frankenstein over here, piecing and putting things together that look kind of sort of like this reality of us, which can't be seen through our physical body. Not really. Like this is just, a printout of what is in our thoughts, basically. So it's one of those things that when I think about congested human thought, I think about like feeling suffocated and feeling a sense of like, where am I really? Like, and I think that's what happens is people come to this place where it's like they don't know it's their congested human thinking that's choking them out. They don't know that. And so then they just proceed to continue to cycle in the congested human thought to claw their way up to the surface. And they get tangled
Well,
more.
we glorify that too.
Yeah.
We glorify that. Like I've seen so much stuff on social media that's like, oh, you're a seeker. We have a whole identity for people who are trying to claw their way through the congested human thought, and we call those people seekers because you know that there's a deeper meaning and a deeper truth and whatever, right? Whatever kind of nonsense people are talking about with that. We have a whole identity for that so that you can stay lost in the sauce indefinitely. And that's okay because you're just a seeker. You're just a seeker.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, so here's the interesting thing. I just had this conversation a week or so ago with my dad, and we were talking about our church experience. And of course, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I worked in ministry for 18, 19 years of my life in church, in organized religion. And there was a time in that work that I did that we literally altered what we were doing so that we would be appealing to seekers. And there was a huge move that happened in the church in that it was like early 2000s. The seeker movement happened, and churches started to become more casual, more laid back. Everything was more flexible, more open. We stopped talking about giving offerings. We stopped talking about so many things because we were wanting to appeal to seekers. And when I look at that now in my life, I'm like, oh my God, first of all, there In the old one, in the old version, those were seekers too, because they didn't know who they were. They still thought God was outside of them. They were showing up every Sunday and Wednesday night into every Bible study and every small group, seeking, seeking. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the thing that can soothe me for now?
Yeah.
And then we focused and pivoted our attention to people who were unsaved. They were seeking for something else. And the whole mission became about reaching people who were unsaved. And that was a catastrophe. It was a mess. It changed the entire structure of how people came together, but people were still seeking. Guess what? Guess what wasn't happening? No miraculous healings. People weren't restoring their marriages. You've got all these statistics out about, Christian marriages and stuff. It's worse than it is just in the secular way of living in terms of divorce rates and all. Like, we are so crazy, like, really and truly. And it's all, like you said, Shannon, to sell something. It's to sell something, to convince people of something. Being a seeker in your life is not valuable to you at all, because if you are seeking it, you don't have it.
Right.
If you're seeking health, you believe you don't have it.
Yeah.
If you're seeking
And
love
you don't.
and you don't. No,
Yeah.
you don't.
We'll be clear. You don't. You're not wrong in that way. You're not
You
wrong.
don't, because you're not tuned into it. You're tuned into, I don't have it.
You're tuned into the lack of it.
Right. So we've created this.
Mm-hmm.
We've created it through that hypnotic state of just letting the congested human thought do all the thinking for us.
Yeah.
And so here we find ourselves. Where's the lock? Where's the key? How do I get out? Does it require that I do all of these things to finally free myself from this congested human thinking? Like, what? I'm sure somebody's watching this. Well, what are the steps I take? Tell me what to do.
That would have been me, by the way. Pick me.
Yes. No, really, really, really. People are sitting out there right now going, I don't want to be in a chokehold of congested human thinking. What do I do? Well, as crazy as it sounds, you just drop it. You have to see it for what it is. I mean, in reality, sometimes you can't even see that this is happening for you until you do that. You're going to be in its grips. But then when you realize, oh my God, this was me, like in my early 30s, I was just like, oh my God, I am not thinking for myself at all. Every decision I'm making, everything that I'm doing in my life is based on someone else. Mm-hmm. Every single one. I was having a massive existential crisis at the time. And it panicked me so much because I started to realize I don't know who I am and I don't know what I want.
Yeah.
Trapped in congested human thinking, and those thoughts were not my thoughts. And listen, just coming to that awareness didn't change it overnight, because then I got afraid and I was like, you know what? Let's just stay on autopilot. Let's just stay in default mode. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. I don't like it, but it's not so bad that I need to change it right now. So there's that. People having experiences for themselves and then going, well, yeah, I'm not really thinking for myself, but it's gotten me this far.
Or I don't know what's on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if I were going to start anywhere, that's what I would start asking, is just with curiosity. Well, what's on the other side of that? That fear that says, okay, if I let go of all this stuff, whether it, like, if I let go of the desire to be healthy, or the desire to have a partner, the desire to have money, whatever desire, because that's not really what that is. That's a lack. But if I let go of those things and start asking, what's on the other side of wanting those things? Mm-hmm. What's on the other side?
Right.
So start asking that and see what comes up.
Yep. Yeah, we don't have to claw our way out of congested human thinking.
You can't claw your way out of congested human thinking.
Right. That's the reality.
Yeah. Like, I haven't seen, well, I guess I won't say that. I've never seen it. I've never seen anyone claw their way out. And I think I've tried harder to claw my way out of congested human thinking than most people that I know. Like, if there was a way to do it with force and discipline and what, I'd have done it.
Yeah.
I would have done it. I'm telling you. But that's not how. Like, like when people talk about, like surrender, I had to just surrender.
Yep. Let go.
That's where it is. That's where it's found. That's where it is. Let go.
It's like you're not going to heal your body fighting against your body.
No.
You're not going to heal your financial condition right now fighting to fix it, you know, with all your logic and all your critical thinking. You're not going to restore or renew a relationship that's broken fighting with the other person to see eye to eye with you.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or fighting for them to feel the same way about you that you feel about them, or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Look at the war on drugs, the war on crime, the war on this, the war on anytime we declare a war on something, what you're telling me is that thing is continuing forever. That's
yep.
it. That's
Yep.
all. That's all. And it's the same. Like when you decide you're going to fight something, you are perpetuating that thing indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And of course, this, incenses some people because it's like, well, there's injustice in the world. We have to stand up to it. We have to do this. Do we? Do we? Because could it be healed without the fighting?
What if it could?
Yeah.
Because I think that's all we're asking is to say, look, what exists on the other side of that? And the other side would be, okay, well, what if we didn't need to do that?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. This isn't about, well, let's just act like it's not happening. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying, let's just pretend none of this is happening. We're saying, what if you stopped looking at it and saying, oh my God,
Right,
look at this. And
right,
instead said, no, this is not what I choose. I don't choose this.
right.
We're going to choose something else. Yeah, it requires you to become the master of your domain, the master of your life. It requires you to step into a new place of responsibility for yourself and for the life you've created. It requires things of you that most people just are not interested in.
It really requires you to take dominion over your life, like you were intended from the
Exactly.
beginning.
Exactly. So with that, we'll leave that for you to ponder this until the next conversation.